Hello and welcome to this video. Today we will be starting with literature, the poetry section. Before I start with the poem, in the last video you have seen figures of speech, and because it has the caption was class 12th, so most of you were confused whether it was for you or not. Now, some topics, especially language and some topics like the figure of speech, we will do in class 11th, and 12th is just a revision. So, because these topics are being repeated in class 12th, okay? So that is why I had sent you an old video, because last time I had taught class 12th the figures of speech. So when you see that video, please make sure that you copy the definitions that are there in that video, and then you try to write the examples as well, because then I will be sending you an exercise and you will tell me which figure of speech is that. Okay, once hopefully the school is reopened, we will revise all the topics that I am teaching you through online classes. As far as possible, I will try that you may understand each and everything. Many of you are unfortunately, last year was such that we have not met properly, and we have not done face-to-face teaching, so you might find some things very strange. So please feel free to call me or to message me personally, and I would be definitely there to help you. Right now, once you finish the figures of speech, finish writing it there in your registers, you will take another page and write poetry section, because first we will do the poetries which are there in your syllabus, and then we will start with the lessons, short stories and prose. So this particular poem is in the book Hornbill. Many of you must have bought it already. You might get it. I have told you in the instructions video that you might get it separately also, and you might get one book also. So whichever book you are getting with their publication or HM publication, just make sure that it is NCRT, and definitely it's available in the market, right? So today we will be studying the poem A Photograph, which is written by Shirley Toulson. Okay, and this particular poem is about Shirley Toulson's mother. So once her mother and her mother's cousin sisters had visited a beach when they were very, very small, and while rummaging through the old photographs, Shirley finds this particular photograph, of the mother and her cousins while they were at the beach, and she finds it quite interesting, and then she is trying to tell us कि अगर वो फोटोग्राफ उसकी मम्मी ने देखी होती, जो कि अब नहीं है, तो वो क्या रिएक्ट करती उसको देख के, राइट? सो first we will read the poem, and then I will explain you the poem. Okay, and in the next lecture I will send you the central idea. So जैसे the manner and the pattern in which I will be sending you the central idea, you have to copy it exactly in the same way in your fair registers. Okay, that is after the topic figures of speech, right? The pattern is exactly the same how you have studied in class 10th about the poet, about the poem, and then the central idea, right? And this is class 11, my girls. So you do not have a choice to learn 4 lines of the poem and write it down. Okay, you have to explain the poem. There will be a a paragraph given to you and reference to context, like, and then some questions will be based on that paragraph. So you will be answering those, and you have to write the central idea, and you do not have any choice. So you have to attempt both the questions of the poetry section, right? As I will go on from poetry to prose to short stories, I will let you know what kind of questions are asked and how you have to answer them, and I will send you the notes also. So please make sure that you see the video, read it in your book, and then complete the notes in your copy. Okay, because anytime we might ask you for your registers for corrections, so please be sure that your work is complete, right? Okay. While you are seeing this video, you might hear some weird music in the background, so I am sorry for that, because some function is going on in my neighborhood, and those musical thoda sa bass ho raha hai, so those music might disturb you or might pose as a hindrance, so I'm sorry for that. So let us continue. A photograph by Shirley Toulson. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. All three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. A sweet face, my mother's. That was before I was born. And the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. Some 20, 30 years later, she'd laugh at the snapshot. See Betty and Dolly, she'd say, and look how they dressed us for the beach. The sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter, both wry with the labored ease of loss. Now she's been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived, and of this circumstance there is nothing to say at all. It's silence, silences. Right? So just the first paragraph, I will read it again and then I will explain it to you. Now, before I explain the paragraphs to you, the figures of speech particularly is a way of writing poems, okay? By using those figures of speech, जैसे आपने पढ़ा उसमें oxymoron या simile या metaphor या personification, वो they are styles of writing poem. Those are used while you write poems to make a better effect on the readers. Okay, so when like two things are compared with each other, or some exaggeration is made, जैसे कि किसी की खूबसूरती के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं और उसको बहुत बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोला है, तब हम figures of speech का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. That is why the topic is being taught to you before the poems have started. Okay, so there is a connection between the two. Right. Now, coming back to the poem, once again I will start. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. All three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. A sweet face, my mother's. That was before I was born. And the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. Right? Now this girl, Shirley Toulson, is now a big girl. Her mother is no more, and she was just rummaging through the things, old things, and she finds a cardboard box. And in that cardboard box, she finds a photograph. And that photograph has her mother and two of her cousin sisters. And when the photo was taken while they had gone out for paddling means swimming. Okay, so you can take a pencil and you can write it down while you are reading the poem as well. So because Shirley's mother was the eldest and she was a big girl, so the other two sisters, cousin sisters, are holding her hand. It says, and she, the big girl, some 12 years ago, so she must have been 12 years then, and all the three stood there to smile. And they had gone to the beach with their uncle, and the uncle has the camera. So all three sisters are standing there giving the best smiles because uncle is trying to take a picture of them. And uncle says smile, and they are ready. जैसे कि हम लोग आजकल forever ready रहते हैं photographs के लिए. So similarly, they are on the beach. The mother of Shirley Toulson and her two cousin sisters, they have gone to the beach for swimming with their uncle, and the uncle tells them to smile because he wants to take a picture of them. So all of them are very, very happy to smile, and they are giving their sweetest smile. And since they are little young girls, so it is the young sweet face which is more glowing on the camera and on the beach. And if मोस्ट ऑफ़ यू अगर जो बीच पे जा चुके हैं वहाँ पे हवा बड़ी तेज़ चलती है, तो पानी भी है और हवा भी है, तो उन बच्चों के गीले गीले बाल उनके चेहरे पे उड़ रहे हैं. एंड इट सेज दैट though the sea which was there in the past and which is now there in the present also, the sea has not changed much, it is the same. But the girls have definitely changed because those cousin sisters now have grown big, and of course the mother is she's no more, she's passed away. So she says that while they were standing there and the breeze was making their hair fly over their faces, even the waves were coming to their feet and touching and washing their feet with their transient move, मतलब मोमेंट्री, क्योंकि लहरें जो हैं वो आती जाती रहती हैं, तो लहरें भी आके उनके पैरों को छू के जा रही हैं वापस, और उनके पैर बहुत पानी में बहुत खूबसूरत भी लग रहे हैं. So that's a way of explaining how the movement of the waves, which is coming and touching their feet and going back, and how the breeze is blowing the hair of those little girls, and how those girls are looking so happy and excited to get clicked by their uncle. Some 20-30 years later, she'd laugh at the snapshot. "See Betty and Dolly," she'd say, "and look how they dressed us for the beach." The sea holiday was her past. Mine is her laughter. Both rhyme with the labored ease of loss. Right? So she says that picture is some 30-40 years old. And now that she's seeing the picture, she's imagining कि अगर मम्मी ज़िंदा होती और अगर वो फ़ोटो देखती तो वो कैसे बोलती कि देखो, look at my sisters Betty and Dolly. The name of the sisters are Betty and Dolly. Look at those, look at them, look at us. How, जैसे हम लोग भी अपनी पुरानी फ़ोटोज़ देखते हैं तो बहुत हंसते हैं, क्योंकि हम लोग क्या कपड़े पहने हुए हैं, कैसे लग रहे हैं. उस समय तो फ़ोटोशॉप होता नहीं था, and whatever our mothers used to give us to wear, we would wear. So sometimes we were definitely looking like clowns in those pictures. और जब हम अब देखते हैं वो फ़ोटोज़ तो हम हंसते हैं कि हम कैसे वो कपड़े पहन सकते थे, या फिर कैसे हम लोग अजीब से लग रहे हैं उन फ़ोटोज़ में. तो एग्जैक्टली सेम इमोशन है same feeling the poet also has. If her mother was alive, she would have said, see Betty, see Dolly, what are they wearing, especially at the beach and at a holiday, how they are looking. So it's the same feeling that they are having. And she says that a sea holiday was the best pastime that her mother used to have. Means her mother had told her कि उसको sea पर जाना, beach पे जाना बहुत अच्छा लगता है. So she knew that it was the favorite pastime of her mother. And at the same time, she says the favorite pastime of my mother was to be at the sea, and her means the poet's favorite pastime was to hear her mother laugh. क्योंकि वो जो उनकी लाफ्टर की जो गूंज है वो राइटर के कानों में अभी तक है. एंड द लास्ट लाइन दैट शी सेज, बोथ राय with the labored ease of loss, means now she's feeling sad. That memory of the laughter of her mother is making her feel sad, because now she cannot listen to that laughter again. It's only in her memory. Now she's been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived, and of this circumstance there is nothing to say at all. It's silence silences. Means that this particular photograph reminded her of a moment in her mother's life when she was very happy, when she was very excited, and it brought so many good memories with her. एंड अचानक से जब उसको याद आती है कि अब उसकी मम्मी वो फ़ोटोग्राफ देखने के लिए ज़िंदा नहीं है, शी इज़ नॉट अलाइव टू एक्सपीरियंस दैट सेम हैप्पीनेस, दैट सेम जॉय, दैट सेम एक्साइटमेंट, एंड शी फील्स सैड एंड शी feels as if there's a complete silence, and that silence silences the situation, because the circumstances now are very different, and she has nothing to say because she cannot say anything, because the cousins are not there with whom she would share this experience or that photograph, and her mother is not there who would see that photograph and be happy. Unfortunately, she's not able to share this particular experience with anyone. So she herself experiences it in silence. She feels good about it. She feels, she has a mixed feelings, mixed emotions. She feels good because she remembers how her mother was happy at the sea, and she feels sad because her mother is no more to share that feeling with her. Okay, so I hope that you will understand this. If you cannot, just go through the poem. Once you see the video, read the poem again, and then you see the video again. I'm sure, 100% sure that you will understand it, right? And if you have any issues regarding this poem, please feel free to message or call. I'll be there to help you. And take care of yourselves then. See you next week, and I'll be sending the central idea of this poem next week. So make sure that you write it in your copies. Till then, take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Bye-bye.